Hi, welcome to Nasha's Art. Did you know that medieval people believed in the weirdest creatures? I'm going to talk you through my top 5 weird medieval creatures. And just before we get to it, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.
Harpies were a medieval creature with the body of a bird and the face of a woman. They often appeared on heraldry, for example shields and flags, as they were a symbol of being unbeatable and bloodthirsty in battle. If you were leading an army, you would want them to think that you were unbeatable and bloodthirsty, so having a harpy on your flag would scare your enemy. Originally, they came from Greek mythology. They were creatures that travelled on storm winds. They were sent by Zeus, the king of the gods, to mete out punishment to anyone who disobeyed his laws. They were insatiably hungry, incredibly fast creatures. They would snatch people and food relentlessly. Some say they guarded the gates of the underworld. In Greek mythology, when harpies were first written about, they were described as the most beautiful women with long, gorgeous black hair. But as time went on, they became ugly and terrible, leaving a bad stench, an awful smell wherever they went. They had terrible voices that were screeching and loud, and they were enough to scare anyone they came into contact with. Coming in at number 2 is strange medieval creature Skiapodus or monopod. This bizarre humanoid dwarf creature that medieval people believed lived in India or Ethiopia. These creatures jump really well on their one leg. They can fight in battle. But the bizarrest thing of all is that when they feel tired on a hot sunny day, they lie on their back and they use their one huge foot as an umbrella to shade them from the sun. Their ancient Greek name Skiapodus, or shadow foot, indicates how useful that one leg was. Some say that medieval travellers actually travelled to India and saw yogis meditating by standing on one leg, and thus the monopod myth was born. Coming in at number 3 is the super weird vegetable lamb of Tartary. Tartary in medieval times is what we now know as Russia, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Mongolia. This plant grows a real live lamb. Some people believed that the lamb grew in one central stem at the top of the plant. Other people believed that actually lots of little lambs grew around the plant from small little gourds or melons. Either way, the lamb grazed on foliage around the plant and of course died when it ran out of food to eat. Medieval explorers used to actually travel to Tartary to find this plant. It was said to be delicious. It had real blood that was sweet as honey. There was one explorer called Mandeville. He wrote about this plant. He translated it from ancient Greek, and actually he may have made a little accident when he translated it and ended up translating the Greek word for melon into lamb, and thus started the whole myth of the vegetable lamb of Tartary. Coming in at number 2 is the Bonacon. This bull-like creature had curled-in horns on top of its head that were totally useless. It sounded like an ox and was the same size as an ox. Medieval people believed that if provoked by hunters or knights, this creature would kick if they were close by. However, if they were a little further away, it would projectile defecate and could hit its target from several kilometres away. Its dung was caustic. It burnt like acid and would burn your flesh as if it was on fire. It seemed as if this creature was partly believed to be true, but also may have just been a little bit of medieval toilet humour. Coming in at number 1 is the Manticore, a ferocious and terrifying beast, part lion's body, tail of a scorpion, and face of a man, which could attack and eat 3 men all at once. It was highly energetic and speedy, as fast as a deer. It had blue-grey eyes and 3 rows of teeth in its deadly jaws. Originally a Persian mythological creature, this Manticore found itself in medieval writings through a Roman general and writer named Pliny. He wrote a natural history book that many medieval people who were lucky enough to read and write would have read. Medieval people often saw creatures as symbols for religious beliefs. They would have seen this creature as strong but deadly, and showing the most deadly and ferocious side of a lion, and so it would have represented pure evil to them. To be attacked by a manticore would have been any medieval person's nightmare. However, they believed that these creatures were very rare and were only in secluded parts of India. It would have been easy to hear a manticore before it attacked you because they sounded like a trumpet or a pipe. And if you didn't hear them, their reddish colour would certainly give them away quite quickly, as they weren't particularly well camouflaged in the greenery. So there you have it, my top 5 weirdest medieval creatures. I hope you enjoyed it and learnt something new. Let me know which creature is your favourite in the comments below. Or check out some of my other medieval drawing videos. There's a how to draw a knight with a fun look at the Bayeux tapestry, and also how to draw a Motte and Bailey castle. If you'd like to see some of my other work, my artwork, do check me out on Insta at Nash Henkel Art and on Facebook.